Have you ever stopped to wonder if the person you think you are is just a story? The name, the roles, the memories. What if they're just layers you've gathered to survive but not who you truly are? Carl Jung once wrote, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." And the Buddha echoed the same in silence teaching, not through answers, but through seeing clearly. In this video, we're not here to fix you, upgrade you, or change you. We're here to remember you. Because beneath all your pain, confusion, ambition, and fear, there is a quiet awareness always watching, always free. And unless you learn to live from that space, no amount of success, healing, or affirmation will ever be enough. So stay with us. We'll walk through 11 insights drawn from Buddhist wisdom and modern psychology that will challenge your identity, expose your unconscious patterns, and invite you back to your most sacred truth. And if you stay until the end, you'll receive a bonus teaching that might just change how you see yourself forever. Let's begin. Lesson 1. Find the hidden force within you. Most people live their lives like they're driving a car with the windows fogged over. They change jobs, move cities, break relationships, all hoping that something out there will bring peace in here. But Buddhism has always whispered a truth that modern life forgets. Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. This isn't a motivational quote, it's a map. Because you're suffering, whether it shows up as anxiety, exhaustion, loneliness, or emptiness, doesn't come from the world. It comes from forgetting who's watching it all. You are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are the one witnessing them. There is a sacred presence behind your stress, your ambition, even your heartbreak. That presence is the real you. Try this. Close your eyes. Feel your breath not controlling it, just noticing. Now ask gently, who is breathing me? Who is watching these thoughts arise and pass? That stillness you just touched, however, briefly, is the hidden force you've been looking for in everything else. And here's the miracle. That awareness is never broken, never lost, never wounded. It just gets covered by noise. One woman I worked with told me, "I thought my breakup shattered me, but it actually revealed me." She had wrapped her identity around her relationship, and when it ended, so did the illusion. What remained was silence. And in that silence, she met someone she had long forgotten herself. That is the power of presence. Not the kind you achieve, but the kind you remember. Meditation isn't about getting calm. It's about remembering that you are the calm beneath the storm. Start with 5 minutes a day. No music, no mantra. Just sit, breathe, witness. At first, it might feel chaotic, but eventually you'll notice something watching the chaos, that something is you. And once you find that inner observer, you'll never be completely lost again. Because strength isn't the ability to control your world, it's the ability to sit in its unraveling and remain still. You are not the storm. You are the sky it passes through. Lesson 2. Wake up to reality. You think you're awake, but are you? Most people live like fish in water, completely unaware of the medium they move through. They think they're reacting to life, but they're really just reacting to their mind. Something happens. A driver cuts you off, a partner ignores your text, a co-worker criticizes you, and suddenly your peace is gone. But was it the event or the meaning you attach to it? In Buddhist psychology, this is called mental proliferation. The mind's habit of taking one small spark and building an entire fire of suffering around it. Pain is real, but suffering, That's often a story. We tell ourselves, they disrespected me. I'm not enough. It's always going to be like this. And we believe it. But here's the truth. You're not suffering because of what happened. You're suffering because of the unconscious script that interpreted it. There's an old Buddhist teaching. The untrained mind sees enemies everywhere. The awakened mind teaches. A man once told me he thought his life was cursed constant failure, rejection, disappointment. But through mindful practice, he began to see that life wasn't attacking him. It was showing him his patterns, his fear of abandonment, his need to be in control, his addiction to validation. And when he stopped blaming the world, he started reclaiming his power. Try this. The next time you feel triggered, pause. Name what you're feeling. This is anger. This is fear. This is shame. Then ask, is this moment the problemer? Is it my mind's story about it? That single pause, that small question, can interrupt years of unconscious reactivity. Because freedom doesn't come from fixing your life. It comes from waking up to it. Lesson 3. You are not broken, only fragmented. We live in a world obsessed with self-improvement. Become better. Fix your flaws. Upgrade your mindset. But Buddhism doesn't say you're broken. It says you're scattered. Somewhere along the way, you abandoned parts of yourself. The angry part, the ashamed part, the soft part that still longs to be held. Not because you were weak, but because you were surviving. You learned to smile when you were sad, to push through when you were hurting, to hide the parts of you that felt too messy, too needy, too much. And now, you don't feel whole. But here's the wisdom Buddhism offers. Wholeness isn't perfection. It's inclusion. You don't heal by becoming someone new. You heal by welcoming back the parts of you that were left behind. Try this. When a painful emotion rises, shame, envy, fear, don't reject it. Don't fix it. Just sit with it like an old friend. Say silently, you too are welcome here. Because every part of you, especially the ones you hid days, longing to be seen. There's a Zen story of a student who came to his master and said, I feel broken. I want to be whole. The master poured tea into a cracked bowl, smiled and said, it still holds the tea, doesn't it? Your cracks don't make you unworthy. They make you real. You are not too much. You are too many beautiful pieces waiting to come home. Lesson 4. Face your shadow with compassion. Everyone has a shadow, the parts of us we hide, suppress, or deny. The jealousy, the resentment, the guilt, the rage. And here's the paradox. What we run from controls us. What we face sets us free. Your shadow isn't bad. It's just the part of you that didn't feel safe enough to exist in the light. Buddhism teaches us not to fight our darkness, but to bring awareness to it, to meet it with compassion, not condemnation. Because the shadow doesn't need punishment, it needs presence. There's a story of a monk who was plagued by nightmares, visions of violence, shame, fear. He tried fasting, meditating, praying, but nothing worked. Finally, he stopped resisting. He sat quietly, looked into the face of his fear, and whispered, I see you. I'm not running anymore. And that night, for the first time in years, the nightmare didn't come back. Try this. Write a letter to the part of you you've been avoiding. The insecure version, the angry version, the part that still aches from something years ago. Don't try to fix it. Just listen. Let it speak. Let it cry. Let it exist. That's how healing happens, not by pretending the shadow isn't there, but by holding it like a child who was never comforted. Freedom is not the absence of darkness. It's the courage to hold the light steady, even as the shadows dance around you. Lesson 5. Understand nothing happens by chance. Sometimes life doesn't break. It rearranges you. The job ends, the person leaves, the dream dies. And you're left standing in the rubble asking, why me? But Buddhism teaches there are no accidents, only unseen causes ripening into form. What appears as chaos may be karma unfolding. What feels like punishment may be preparation. Life is a web of causes and conditions. What you planted yesterday blooms today. What happens today becomes tomorrow's garden. There's a story about a farmer whose horse ran away. The neighbours cried, "How terrible!" He replied, "Who knows if it's good or bad?" Days later, the horse returned with wild horses. Then his son broke his leg taming one. Then the army came to recruit, but left his son behind. Good? Bad? Who knows? Life doesn't show its full picture in a single moment. One woman I met lost her fiancé and her home within the same month. She thought her life had collapsed. But that pain led her to spend a year in retreat, where she discovered her calling in counselling others who felt lost like she once did. Her loss became a lantern. So here's your invitation. Look back on a painful event not with bitterness, but curiosity. What strength did it grow? What illusion did it burn? What clarity did it reveal? The universe isn't punishing you, positioning you. Everything you've endured was a chapter in the becoming of someone deeper, someone freer. Stop asking, why is this happening to me? Start asking, what is this teaching me? That shift changes everything. Lesson 6. Learn the power of the collective unconscious. You think you're alone in your suffering, but beneath the surface, we are all connected. Your pain isn't just yours. It echoes in hearts you've never met. And your healing? It ripples outward. Buddhist teachings remind us there is no separate self. There is only interbeing. When you awaken a piece of the whole. There was once a young man drowning in anxiety. He felt broken, ashamed, isolated. During a mindfulness retreat, he was asked to visualize someone else somewhere in the world feeling exactly the same. As he breathed in compassion for that stranger, something broke open in him. He realized, I'm not alone in this. My pain is part of a larger human heartbeat. And his self-hatred softened into empathy. Try this practice. When you feel overwhelmed, breathe in your struggle. On the exhale, imagine sending peace to someone else, unknown, unseen, but silently walking the same path. This is called Tonglen in Tibetan Buddhism, practice of shared healing. Because your peace isn't isolated. Your growth lifts others. Your calm becomes a gift for a chaotic world. You are not a wave crashing alone. You are part of the ocean, and every act of stillness, every moment of compassion, helps the entire sea rise. Lesson 7. Observe, don't absorb. Most of us aren't living, we're absorbing. We take on energy that isn't ours. We believe every thought that passes through. We confuse feelings with facts. But Buddhism gives you a sacred reminder. You are not your thoughts. You are the one watching them. There's a Zen story of a monk meditating under a tree. A passerby insulted him, yelling curses. The monk stayed silent. When asked why, he said, "If someone offers you a gift and you don't accept it, to whom does it belong?" That's what observation gives you. Space, freedom, power. Try this. The next time you feel flooded by emotion, pause and silently say, "This is sadness. This is anger. This is fear." Don't judge it. Don't fix it. Just notice it. You are the sky. Your thoughts, just weather. They may storm, they may rage, but they pass. And you, silent, grounded, vast remain. This isn't detachment, it's clarity. Because when you stop absorbing everything, you start seeing everything. Not with panic, but with presence. And that is the root of all transformation. Lesson 8. Stop struggling, start surrendering. You've been clenching for so long, you forgot how it feels to soften. Mind tight, jaw locked, heart armored. We've been taught to fight for control, to fix every emotion, to win every battle. But Buddhism whispers a different truth. What you resist persists. What you surrender to transforms. Imagine standing in a rushing river. The more you fight the current, the more exhausted you become. But the moment you let go, you float. The river doesn't drown, Ute carries you. Surrender isn't giving up. It's giving in to what already is. There was a man who lost everything, his job, his relationship, his sense of self. For months he fought reality, tried to force new beginnings. But nothing worked. One day, broken and breathless, he said aloud, "Maybe I don't have to fix this. Maybe I just have to feel this." That was the beginning of peace. When you surrender, life doesn't get easier. You get softer, and soft things endure. So here's your practice. When discomfort arises, pause. Say to yourself, "This too belongs." Not to excuse the pain, but to allow it. Because when you allow life to move through you, you stop being at war with it, and you discover that the peace you were chasing was always just on the other side of letting go. Lesson 9. Compassion, highest power. In a world that prizes dominance and performance, compassion might seem weak. But in Buddhism, compassion is the highest form of strength. Hatred never ceases by hatred. Only love can dissolve it. Compassion isn't passive. It's fierce. It's the strength to meet someone's pain without absorbing it. To see someone's wounds and choose to understand rather than judge. There's a story of a monk asked what the most powerful energy was. He didn't say discipline. He didn't say focus. He said compassion. Why? Because anyone can react, but it takes deep awareness to respond with gentleness when all you want is revenge. A woman once told me she couldn't forgive her ex for what he did. Every day, she replayed the betrayal in her head. But when she learned to offer compassion not to excuse him, but to release herself, her heart finally stopped bleeding. Compassion doesn't always change the other person, but it always transforms you. So try this. When you're hurt, ask, "What must this person be carrying to act this way?" Then turn inward. What in me still aches that needs gentleness, not judgment? Compassion is not a tool for fixing people. It's a path for freeing yourself. The more you love, the less you need to defend. The more you understand, the less you need to prove. True compassion liberates you, because it lets you walk away, not bitter, but clean. Lesson 10. Turn towards suffering, not away. Most people spend their lives running from pain. But what if the pain was the teacher? Buddhism teaches that suffering is not the enemy. It is the gateway. Just like the lotus grows through mud, you grow through discomfort. There was a woman who lost her mother suddenly. She buried her grief under productivity working, cleaning, helping others. But the ache never left. Only when she sat down, weeping in the middle of an ordinary afternoon, did the healing begin. She didn't need a solution. She needed space to feel. Suffering unacknowledged becomes suffering prolonged. But the moment you sit with it, really sit with it, it begins to change. Try this next time something hurts. Don't run. Don't explain it away. Don't numb it with distraction. Instead, place a hand on your heart and say, I see you. You are allowed to be here. This is not weakness. This is spiritual courage. Because when you stop fleeing your pain, you begin to hear what it's trying to say. And what it says might just set you free. Lesson 11. Question every thought that hurts. There is a fog in the mind. A fog made of unquestioned thoughts, beliefs we inherited, assumptions we never challenged, judgments we confuse with truth. Buddhism teaches the mind creates suffering, not reality. You may think it's the breakup, the job loss, the rejection that's causing your pain. But look deeper. It's the meaning you attach to it. I'm unworthy. I failed. I'll never be loved again. Those thoughts feel real, but are they true? A man once came to a meditation teacher overwhelmed with grief after losing his business. He said, "My life is over." The teacher gently asked, "Can you absolutely know that's true?" That single question unraveled a lifetime of conditioning. Here's your invitation. When a painful thought arises, pause and ask, is this true? Is this thought helping or harming? Who would I be without this belief? You'll find that the suffering doesn't live in the event. It lives in the interpretation. You don't need to believe every thought your mind throws at you. You are not its prisoner. You are its observer. And when you begin to question your thoughts, you reclaim your peace. Not by force, but through clarity. Bonus lesson. Stillness is strength. In a world obsessed with speed, stillness becomes radical. It's easy to keep moving. It's easy to scroll, to hustle, to distract. But it takes real power to pause. In Buddhism, stillness is not absence, it's presence without resistance. Stillness is sitting in the middle of uncertainty without rushing to escape. It's breathing through discomfort without needing to fix it. It's choosing silence, not because you don't have words, but because your soul doesn't need them. There's a story of a monk who spent 10 years in silence. When asked what he learned, he said, "I met myself and I was enough." Try this. Every morning, before you check your phone, sit in stillness for 5 minutes. No goals, no guidance, just presence. Let your thoughts rise and fall like waves. Let your breath be the anchor. Stillness is the space where your soul speaks. It's where you remember. You are not your past. You are not your achievements. You are not even your healing. You are awareness, it's calm, infinite, unshaken. The strongest version of you is the stillest one. Quick recap. The truth behind the illusion. Let's remember what you've just learned. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness behind them. And in that awareness lies your freedom. Wake up to what's unconscious. Freedom begins when you see the patterns that run you and stop calling them fate. You're not broken. You're fragmented. The parts you've rejected are calling you home. Integration is healing. Your shadow is your teacher. What you refuse to face will run your life. Face it, and you reclaim your power. Nothing happens by accident. Every pain has a purpose. Every detour holds direction. We awaken together. Your healing lifts the whole. You're not alone. You never were. Observe, don't absorb. You are not the storm. You are the mountain beneath it. Surrender is power. Stop resisting life. Start flowing with it. Compassion is courage. When you choose to love, especially when it's hard, you free yourself. Suffering is a portal. The lotus blooms because of the mud knot, in spite of it. Question your thoughts. Every story you tell yourself is optional. Truth begins when you stop believing every sentence in your head. Stillness is strength. Stop searching. Be still. Your true self is waiting in the silence. The real you was never lost. You are not who you think you are. You are who watches the one thinking. And that presence, that sacred, spacious awarenesses, untouched by fear, trauma, or time. You don't need to become anyone. You need to remember who you've always been. So pause, breathe, observe, and from this day forward, live not from your wounds, but from your wisdom. Let go of the illusion. Come home to yourself. If this message stirred something within you, if you felt seen, understood, or awakened by even a single lesson, subscribe to the Enlightened Mind for more deep, mindful wisdom every single week. Like this video if it brought you peace, clarity, or courage. Leave a comment what part of this journey resonated most with your soul. Your insight could be the light someone else is searching for. And remember, you don't have to chase your healing. You just have to listen to it. Share this video with someone who needs to hear. You are not who you think you are. You are so much more. We awaken together, not at all. Thank you for walking this path with us.